I think it's helpful to look at a map of Israel right now. This is the West Bank where Palestinians are located, but it's under the control, ultimately, of Israel right now. This was originally Israel's territory after 1967. This down here in the Sinai Peninsula, where the word Egypt is now, after Israel was attacked unprovoked, Israel defended itself and took the Sinai Peninsula, took over the West Bank, took over Jerusalem, took over the Golan Heights up here, and that was a defensible state. But Israel, and I didn't really understand it fully until I went to Israel for the first time, I couldn't understand, why do you guys not get it, that when you unilaterally give away land trying to buy peace, you lose the land and you provide a staging area from which you are ultimately attacked again. But once I'd been in Israel and I saw locations of families, friends being blown up by suicide bombers, saw the location of children and families that were killed, terrorized by rockets, now about 12,000 of them, I understood a little better. They are so tired of being terrorized and losing friends and family. They're willing to say, look, we'll give you this area up here in Lebanon that we were able to control after the '67 war when you attacked us. We'll give it back to you if you'll just leave us alone. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We're glad that the President took time out of his schedule from apologizing to people who apparently want others to pay for their contraceptives so that he could see Prime Minister Netanyahu today. He reiterated again what he said last May at AIPAC when he said, in the middle of a lot of other comments, that Israel must be able to defend itself by itself. He reiterated that again yesterday and today. The problem is, for Israel to defend itself means they're defending us. We've been described as the great Satan, the United States, and Israel, the little Satan. It's time for this president to quit trying to suppress our friend Israel and stand with Israel. But if this president will not stand with Israel, then don't make threats to them about what we're going to do if they defend themselves without our okay. They've already been given the okay by the president saying they must defend themselves by themselves, and I hope and pray we'll stand by Israel. This administration, through Secretary Hillary Clinton, is going to announce that it could care less what Congress has ordered about helping the enemies of Israel, about helping those who are terrorizing and persecuting Christians in Egypt and destroying churches and eliminating freedom of religion, and are saying they want to rethink their peace accord with Israel and setting themselves up to be the enemy of Israel, and they're going to give $1.5 billion, not in humanitarian aid, according to this story, not food, military aid. So forget all of those speeches that this president gave at AIPAC and, oh gosh, we're Israel's best friend, we're going to help them, because, oh no, we're going to give people who have the power to destroy Israel on the border with Israel military aid as they are planning. Many there make it clear they hate Israel, they hate us. We want to keep some freedoms here and in Israel, and the way to do that is not to fund and provide military assistance to anyone unless we know they are our friend, They're Israel's friend. They're the friends of our friends. To do otherwise will bring calamity on this country like they will not realize until it's too late. So much happening in the world today. So much that is really earth-shaking in its potential effect. In the Middle East, I've spoken before about the potential rise of a new Ottoman Empire that, unfortunately, our own country, this Obama administration, has helped jumpstart. In Egypt, we supposedly had a friend. There were comments could direct attention to back June 2nd. The BBC reported an interview in 2009 where during the interview the president was asked, do you regard President Mubarak as an authoritarian ruler? President Obama said in part, he has been a stalwart ally in many respects to the United States. He has sustained peace with Israel, which is a very difficult thing to do in that region. But he has never resorted to, unnecessary demagoguing of the issue and has tried to maintain that relationship. So I think he has been a force for stability and good in the region. He points out, obviously there have been criticisms, but he saw him as a force for good in the region. That's rather amazing when you look at what happened. We were called was an Arab Spring that we've later since realized was more of a nightmare winter. What kind of message does it send to the world from what has been referred to as the remaining superpower in the world when its leader says to the world, this man has been a force for stability and for good. And then, not so long later, the same U.S. leader says he's got to go. He's got to go. He just needs to be gone. Well, if he was a force for stability and good, if you were accurate in those comments, then one would think to get rid of him would bring about instability and bad, to use the antonyms.